The village that disappeared after breaking one. Sacred rule. They were warned never to touch the sacred pot. Everybody in the village knew the rule, from the oldest man with white beard to the smallest child, still learning how to talk. No hand must ever touch the sacred pot. But one night, someone did. And by morning, the village that stood for over 300 years was no longer there. No fire, no blood, no noise, just silence. This story happened long ago in a quiet village in the eastern part of Nigeria, a place surrounded by thick forest and red soil. The village was called Umudima, which means children of good destiny. People believed Umudima was protected by ancient forces. Rain came when it should. Crops never failed. Women gave birth safely. And strangers who came with bad intentions always left confused. At the center of the village stood a small mud shrine. Inside that shrine was the sacred pot. Old, cracked, blackened by time. Nobody knew what was inside it. Nobody dared to ask. Every year during the New Yam Festival, the chief priest would stand before the people and say, "This pot is not for touching. It is not for opening. It is not for testing. As long as it remains untouched, Umudima will stand." Children were taught the rule before they learned farming. Mothers warned their daughters. Fathers warned their sons. Even thieves avoided the shrine. Because long ago, the elders said the pot was a covenant between the village and the unseen world. Break it, and protection ends. Now listen carefully. This story is not just about a pot. It is about human desire. There was a woman in Umudima named Adaeze, beautiful, hardworking, but deeply unhappy. Her husband had died young. Her farm was failing. Her children were often sick. Each time she went to the market, she saw others prosper, and bitterness slowly entered her heart. One evening, she overheard two old women whispering, "They say the pot holds something powerful, something that can change destiny." That night, Adaeze could not sleep. That same night, she dreamt. In the dream, the shrine was on fire, but the pot remained untouched. A voice said, "Do not seek what is not yours." She woke up sweating. For 3 days, she avoided the shrine. But suffering makes ears deaf. Another rumor spread. A stranger had passed through the village and said, "Any village that hides power is wasting destiny." Adaeze's heart burned. She began to believe the elders were lying, that the pot was just a trick to keep power among a few. She told herself, if the pot can help the village, why not use it? That thought sounded innocent, but it was dangerous. It was a night without moon. The forest was too quiet. Adaeze wrapped cloth around her hands so no one would recognize her touch. As she entered the shrine, the air became heavy. The pot shook, not violently, just once. She froze. She remembered the warning, but she touched it anyway. Nothing happened immediately. She went home relieved, but before dawn, dogs began to howl. Winds rose from nowhere. By sunrise, Umudima was gone. Where houses stood, there was forest. Where children played, there was silence. Travelers who passed later said, it was like the land swallowed itself. Adaeze was never seen again. Years later, an old man from a nearby village said, "The pot was not evil. It was a test." The rule was simple obedience. Not every power is meant to be touched. If this story touched your heart, like, subscribe, share with someone who needs this lesson.